This is Cookie Clicker's Platinum Trophy. Its description reads do not eat, when it really should read do not attempt. Because unlocking all 49 trophies was easily one of the hardest and longest grinds I've ever taken on. Which is strange, because at its core, this game revolves around one simple thing: clicking cookies. Hey, wake and bake. Nice. After finding the perfect name for our bakery, we began clicking, because as of right now, that was all that we could do. Each time we clicked this giant cookie, we would gain +1 cookies, and by doing it enough, we were able to afford our very first building, Curses. These little guys click cookies for us in the background, baking us an additional 0.1 cookies per second, which ain't much, but hey, it's passive income. Shortly after this, we managed to get enough cookies to afford our next building, Grandma. This sweet old lady bakes an entire 1 cookie per second for us, and despite forcing her to do unpaid labor, we still refused to call her. It was around this time when something shiny popped onto my screen, a golden cookie. Oh, cookie! Hey! Golden cookie. Click a golden cookie. Alright, so we had to go into this free movement mode to do that, which is weird, but that's our first trophy, so we take it. Golden cookies are a staple in Cookie Clicker advancement, and we need to make sure that we click every single one. As for the trophy Leprechaun, we have to click 777 golden cookies. In the meantime, we continued buying curses and grandmas, which in turn enabled us to start buying upgrades which make them twice as efficient. And before long, we were able to afford farms and mines, which helped skyrocket our cookies per second to over 1,000. It's important that we continue to see that number go up, because one of the rarest trophies in the game requires us to bake over 1 trevigintillion cookies, a number so large that it sounds fake. But we were a long ways away from that one. Shortly after this, we managed to click a golden cookie, which rewarded us with a frenzy, a bonus that multiplies our cookie production by 7 for 77 seconds. With this, we were baking well over 1 million cookies, and could begin to afford factories and banks to further increase our CPS. We also started to see a heap of notifications pop up for something called milestones. These are cookie clickers in-game achievements, which there are 600 of, 48 of which have been converted to PlayStation trophies. But still, it was in our best interest to try and unlock as many milestones as possible, as they directly impact the most important line of upgrades in the entire game, kittens. Buying these kitten upgrades gives us a serious boost to our CPS based off how much milk we have, and milk is directly tied into in-game milestones. The more milestones we unlock, the more milk we get, which in turn makes our kittens stronger, which in turn massively increases our CPS. Oh, we got a golden cookie. And wait, what? You guys are not gonna want to miss out on this, because in their newest collab, Raid Shadow Legends have teamed up with Paramount to bring you the coolest crossover to date, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We've got Leo, Mikey, Donnie, Raph, April, and Shredder all coming to the game as new legendary champions. Starting August 21st and running all the way to November 13th, you can get your hands on all of these champions, starting with Michelangelo, who you can unlock for free just by logging in for 7 days. Mikey can spread debuffs, taunt enemies with trash talk, and dodge attacks, which might come in handy when facing the new event dungeon boss, Shredder. Now, if you've never played Raid before, this is literally the perfect time to start, as by clicking my link in the description or by using my QR code, you will immediately get a huge starter pack that gives you one of the best epic champions in the game, Tayrel. And if you hit level 15, you'll get another pack rewarding you with Rector Drath. She may look creepy, but she gives good heals, so trust me, you'll want to pick her up. Raid have also been generous enough to super juice my custom links by giving new players the option to pick one of 5 legendary champions by entering a promo code. I'll pop these ones on screen for you guys, but personally, I'm a big fan of Alice the Wanderer. She's giving out goth girl vibes and I'm all here for it. But if I was you, I would go for the one and only Sun Wukong, who you can get by using the promo code Monkey King. So come find me under the name Beaufa and join my clan BeaufaPlays. Once again, new players have 48 hours only to pick one of these champions after downloading the game using my custom link or QR code. So don't miss out, click the link, download Raid, and grab all of those goodies. Thanks again to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the video. Now let's get back to those trophies. By this stage, we had an entire legion of slaves, grandmas, and we even began generating cookies via ancient temples which worship cookie gods. Because of this, it didn't take long before we reached 1 billion lifetime cookies baked. baked, which meant that we could now attract sugar lumps. Sugar lumps are another resource in Cookie Clicker that have multiple uses, but for the most part, they are used to level up our buildings, and we need to level up every building to level 10 to get a good chunk of the trophies. Only problem with that is that sugar lumps take 24 hours to ripe, which meant that for now, all we could do is wait. In the meantime, I focused on buying more buildings and upgrades and clicking as many golden cookies as possible, because they are the true key to progression in Cookie Clicker. Clicking a golden cookie grants you a special bonus, the most common being frenzies and luckies. There is, however, a small chance that we get something called a click frenzy, which for 13 seconds boosts our clicking power by 777 times, capable of generating hours worth of cookies in an instant. Unfortunately, all I was getting was regular frenzies, but still with enough of these, we were able to buy our next building, Wizard Towers. And with this addition, we officially reached 1 million cookies per second. After letting my cookies bake whilst I slept, I returned to see that I had made a whopping 100 billion cookies overnight, meaning that I could also buy some shipments to bring in fresh cookies from outer space. But what's even more important is that my very first sugar lump was nearly ripe to harvest. I only needed to wait one more hour. Oh, I did not mean to click that. I did not mean to click that. Yeah, so if you harvest a mature sugar lump before it's ripe, there is a 50-50 chance that when you click it, you successfully harvest it. Obviously, I pulled the short straw this time, but at least to make me feel better, the game decided to give me a click frenzy on my next golden cookie. Oh, click frenzy, click, click, click. Click the cookies! Ugh. Click, 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 click the cookies. That was some good clicking. We returned the next day to see that whilst we were away, the game auto-harvested our first sugar lump. We could then take this sugar lump and use it to upgrade our wizard towers to level 1. Doing so, unlocking one of the 4 Cookie Clicker mini-games, the Grimoire. This mini-game lets us cast spells using mana, and eventually we're gonna need to cast 999 of them to unlock the trophy, A Wizard Is You. But there was really only one spell that had our attention, that being Force the Hand of Fate, also known as Fatov. This spell summons a random golden cookie at will, but like all spells, there is a 15% chance it backfires, which will spawn a Wrath cookie instead. These are essentially the opposite of a golden cookie, as more times than not, instead of bonuses, they usually give you nasty debuffs. But even with the occasional backfire, we began spamming Fatovs as often as we could, because more golden cookies means more frenzies, more click frenzies, and more cookies overall, which is exactly what we want. Ain't that right, Grandma?
You make me sick.
Okay then, the very next day we logged in right in time to harvest our next sugar lump, but this one looks slightly different. We're back, we've got another sugar lump. Sugar. Harvest a bifurcated sugar lump? Oh, alright, we take that. You know, I don't know if that's rare or not, but we take it. Hell yeah. Unlike a normal sugar lump, one that's bifurcated has a 50% chance to give us 2 sugar lumps instead of 1, which was great as we could now unlock our next minigame, the Pantheon. This allows us to worship different cookie spirits, which grant us unique buffs. And look, I'm not a man of God, but I think today I found my religion, because there is one cookie deity that stands above the rest, that being Godzamok, the spirit of ruin. Not only does he have the most badass name and title, but he also grants one of the strongest buffs in Cookie Clicker. When placed in the diamond slot, he gives you a 1% increase to clicking power for every building you sell. And although the buff only lasts 10 seconds, it does stack, meaning that if we sell 200 low tier buildings like farms or mines, we instantly receive a 200% boost to our clicking power. And by using this buff, we were able to pull off something crazy. I managed to pair a Godsmock with a regular frenzy and a click frenzy to bake a sacrilegious amount of cookies. Oh my god, we're getting cookies. We are getting cookies. We are getting cookies, man. We are getting hella cookies. Let's go. Oh, that was sick. I had never seen cookie gains like that, And upon some research, I discovered that what I just pulled off was something called a golden cookie combo, where you stack multiple bonus on top of one another to super juice cookie production. In an effort to recreate what I just witnessed, I made a conscious effort to click as many golden cookies as possible, going as far as even clicking my 77th, which earned me the trophy fortune. Doing so also enabled us to buy our third golden cookie upgrade, Get Lucky, which makes golden cookie effects last twice as long, even further boosting our combo capabilities. The hardest part about achieving these combos was getting click frenzies. That's where a little strategy called for top rerolling comes in, also known as save scumming. See, all Force the Hand of Fate outcomes are already predetermined by the game seed. Because of this, what we can do is save the game, then cast our top. If we don't get a click frenzy, we simply reload the save, then cast a cheap spell to reroll the outcome. We then simply repeat this until we get a click frenzy. After we have one stored away in the grimoire, all we have to do is wait until we get a natural frenzy, sell off some of our buildings for the Godzamok buff, and boom, golden cookie combo. After discovering this, I started going on a roll. I was chaining combo after combo and went from baking hundreds of trillions to over 1 quadrillion cookies, allowing us to buy the next tier of buildings, portals, time machines, and antimatter condensers, which literally bake cookies straight from the alternate dimensions of the cookieverse itself. I also noticed our Legion of Grandmas starting to act strange. They began saying weird phrases like, "It begins," and "It'll all be over soon." Maybe all the unpaid labor was catching up to them. Maybe. So, in an attempt to shut them up, I spent 1 quadrillion cookies on the Grandma's ultimate kryptonite, bingo. This bingo center 4x's their efficiency, but also serves as a research facility, gradually unlocking new upgrades for us. But more importantly, it seemed to calm down the Grandmas.
Moist cookies.
Okay, Grandma, what the fuck? Our next major goal was to go for the trophy rebirth, which we can get by ascending for the first time. Ascension is Cookie Clicker's version of a prestige system, which essentially acts as a giant reset, where we lose all our cookies, buildings, and upgrades. This may sound like shit, but trust me, it isn't. You might have noticed this small progression bar filling up with a number next to it. That's our prestige level. When we click it, we can ascend, and that number gets converted into 2 things. 1, a permanent percentage boost to our CPS, and 2, a new currency called Heavenly Chips. We can spend these Heavenly Chips on Heavenly Upgrades, which are permanent bonuses that carry over after ascending and make future runs way easier. And even though I could technically ascend right now, I have chosen to forgo ascension until our prestige level reaches at least 365. As according to the official Cookie Clicker Ascension Guide, this is the optimal amount of Heavenly Chips so that we can buy the most important upgrades to fast track our progress. Now, how we increase our prestige level is pretty simple. Bake more cookies. And the best way to do that was, yep, you guessed it, golden cookie combos. Combo after combo, our cookie count continued to rise alongside our prestige level. And before long, we were buying prisms and chance makers, which were generating cookies from literal light and luck. And after probably 10 more successful combos, we managed to reach over 400 prestige levels.
Oh yeah, look at that go up. Look at the legacy go up. Let's go.
Ascend. Come on. Boom. After spending our Heavenly Chips on upgrades that boost our CPS and golden cookies, we were ready to reincarnate and start back from scratch.
Let's reincarnate. Let's go. Oh, nihilism. That is ascend with 1 quadrillion cookies baked. And rebirth, which will be just for ascending at least once. But there we go. 2 more trophies. And we've officially done our first ascension. Let's go. And we just gotta start clicking again.
It didn't take long before I realized the power of Ascension, as within 15 minutes, I was already baking millions on millions of cookies. And after an hour, I was baking trillions. Something that helped our progress was the heavenly upgrade, How to Bake Your Dragon, which enabled us to raise our very own pet dragon, Crumblor. On top of being a good little boy, Crumblor is kinda overpowered, as by feeding him cookies and sacrificing buildings, we can level him up and unlock permanent buffs called Dragon Auras. At first, we can only have one of these equipped at a time, which was more than fine, as the very first one that we unlock is arguably the most powerful, as it increases the effectiveness of our kitten upgrades. And because we were making steady progress to our milestone total, our kitten upgrades were only getting stronger and stronger, essentially doubling our CPS. Before long, I had well surpassed my previous ascension, but I was hungry for more. I started investing in fractal engines and JavaScript consoles, which create cookies from the very code the game was written in. I also rebought the Bingo Center / research facility to appease the grandmas, and over time, it started researching new upgrades. At first, they seemed harmless, giving us small boosts to our cookie production, but things changed when it researched the One Mind upgrade. This upgrade came with a warning label saying that the grandmas are going restless, and to be fair, unpaid labor will do that to you. But regardless of the warning, I clicked to buy it anyway, until I was met by another warning label. Purchasing this will have unexpected and potentially undesirable results. You have been warned. But because mama didn't raise no bitch, I bought the upgrade anyway. And at first, things seemed normal, but then the background started to change, and so did grandma.
Oh, grandma. Grandma's pissed.
This was the beginning of our very first grandma apocalypse, but grandma looking possessed and talking shit about us was just the beginning, as not long after, wrinklers started spawning. These demonic leech-like creatures eat away at our CPS. On top of that, wrath cookies began replacing golden cookies, making cookie combos harder to come by. But thankfully, we still managed to get one which shot me over 2,000 prestige levels, meaning it was time to leave the grandmas behind and ascend once again. This time round, we would end up spending half our heavenly chips on one single upgrade, the Season Switcher. This enables us to trigger one of the seasonal events for 24 hours, which is huge, as there are multiple trophies associated with the different seasons. And the very first one that we chose to tackle was Christmas, where we could get the trophy All Hail Santa for reaching Santa's final form. To do this, we need to first buy the upgrade of Festive Hat, which will give us a new pet, the Festive Test Tube. Similar to Crumblor, we can level this thing up by sacrificing a certain amount of cookies, gradually evolving it to a Christmas tree, to an elf fetus, and all the way to Saint Nick himself. But it doesn't just stop at Santa Claus, as by spending a couple more quadrillion cookies, we could upgrade this guy to Elder Santa, True Santa, and then eventually his final form.
We can sacrifice 11 quadrillion from True Santa to Final Claus. All hail Santa. Reach Santa's final form, man. Hell yeah. And we got a motherfucking reindeer.
These reindeers are actually essential for the next trophy, Let It Snow, where we need to unlock every Christmas themed cookie. There are 7 of these in total, and the only way to unlock them is by clicking on reindeers. Maxing out Santa made going for this trophy way easier, as 2 of the upgrades we got for doing so make reindeers appear twice as frequently and increase the chance that they give out Christmas cookies. Because of this, it only took us a little over an hour before we had all 7, and could unlock the trophy Let It Snow. Whilst going for these, we ended up baking a heap of cookies, largely thanks to a new Dragon Aura we unlocked, which causes some golden cookies to give us a bonus called Dragon Flight, boosting our clicking power by 1,111 times instead of the normal 777.
Oh my god, we're getting cookies on cookies on cookies, holy shit.
With this many cookies coming in, we could start buying some of the final buildings, Idleverses and Cortex Bakers, which were capable of not only making cookies just by thinking about them, but also by hijacking cookie production from countless other multiversal timelines. But our parade was cut short, as the grandmas had once again returned. Now, like I mentioned before in Grandma Apocalypse, sometimes instead of getting golden cookies cookies, we get wrath cookies. And for the most part, these have pretty negative effects, like taking away some of our cookies, halving our CPS, or even halting it completely. Despite all this, it's actually quite beneficial to still click them, because of one single bonus, Elder Frenzies, as when we get one, our CPS is multiplied by 666 for a short amount of time. And if we somehow manage to pair that with the click frenzy, well, things could get pretty weird.
Oh, be an Elder Frenzy one time. Oh my god, it is. Click! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Holy shit! Holy shit! That is so many cookies! Oh my lord.
Just for some context, I just baked 5 months worth of cookies in 10 seconds, and we now have over 960,000 prestige levels, which means that, yep, we are ascending. This one ascension alone absolutely skyrocketed our progress, as thanks to our prestige level, we reincarnated with a nearly 1,000,000% boost to our base CPS, which meant that only 20 minutes into our next run, a single click frenzy alone was able to generate me over 300 nanillion cookies. With this many cookies, we could comfortably purchase the final building in Cookie Clicker, Mii. Well, technically it's called you, but it's me, not you, right? Mii.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
That same click frenzy also gave us more than enough prestige levels to ascend once again. But before doing that, I wanted to try and unlock as many building milestones as possible. Because remember, milestones equal milk, and milk is good. Whilst we were buying all those buildings, we actually ended up unlocking a couple trophies by accident.
Oh, base 10! Yo! Have at least 10 of the most expensive building, 20 of the second, 30 and so on. I wasn't even going for that. I was just buying shit and hopefully getting achievements, but hey, we take it. We take it. Oh, mathematician as well. Have at least one of the most expensive, 2 of the second most, 4, and so on, so on. Again, wasn't going for it, but we got it. Let's go.
From here, we ended up going on a bit of an ascension spree. As I kid you not, 15 to 20 minutes after each ascension, we already had enough prestige levels to ascend again. And I'm not 100% sure what caused our cookie production to go on steroids, but I have a good feeling it had something to do with the heavenly upgrades, Synergies Volume 1 and 2. In a nutshell, synergies are upgrades that link 2 different building types together. They increase the CPS of one building based on how many of another building we own. For example, the synergy Rain Prayer increases farm CPS by 5% for every time machine we own. So by owning, say, 200 time machines, our farms get a 1000% increase to CPS, which is fucking insane, especially considering that damn near every building has 1 to 2 synergies just like this. The most broken of these was the synergy between curses and fractal engines. This upgrade made our curses, the once weakest, cheapest, and most useless building, into by far our strongest, being responsible for over 99.8% of our total CPS, which really explains why we were ascending damn near every 10 minutes. Within just a few hours, I went from baking nanillions and decillions to over 1 quattrodecillion cookies. I then decided that it was time to tackle the Halloween event and go for the trophy Spooky Cookies, where we need to unlock every Halloween themed cookie. Similar to the Christmas cookies, we get these from random drops, but not from clicking reindeers. This time it was for popping wrinklers, which meant that, yep, return of the grandmas. We decided to go hog wild with the Grandma Apocalypse and advance it to its final stage, which made Grandma going from being pissed to really pissed to whatever the fuck that is. The main reason for doing this was because in this stage, wrinklers spawn pretty much every other second, which makes grinding the Halloween cookies a piece of piss.
There we go. They should give it to us. There it is, Spooky Cookies. Unlock every Halloween themed cookie. Hell yeah.
Next was the Valentine event, where we could get the trophy Lovely Cookies for likewise unlocking every Valentine themed cookie. And these were way easier to unlock, as all we needed to do was have baked 50 sextillion cookies, which we were well beyond doing.
There we go. Lovely cookies, man. They were popping up like hell.
Easter was the final season that we needed to complete for a trophy, and it was by far the most annoying. Not only are there 20 Easter eggs to unlock, but some of them are rarer than others. The game does offer a helping hand by letting you unlock eggs by clicking on golden cookies, wrath cookies, and by popping wrinklers. But still, we managed to get stuck on some of the rarer eggs for quite a while. In fact, I was stuck on 19 out of 20 eggs for over an hour. But thanks to the consistent wrinkler spawns, I was able to keep checking for eggs, and eventually we got the final one needed.
Oh my god, we got it. Yes, 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 yes. There it is, Sentry Egg, which means hide and seek champion. Unlock all the eggs, man. Finally, that final egg was a pain. But we got it, which means we can now ascend. Well overdue. Well overdue. Let's go.
In our next ascension, we decided it was time to make some serious progress on our trophy total, because at this stage, we were 80 hours into the grind with only 12 trophies to show for it. Thankfully, there were a ton that I could pick up nearly straight away, those being the level 10 trophies. Like I mentioned earlier, we can use our sugar lumps to level up our buildings. So far, we'd only done this with a few: the temples to unlock the Pantheon, wizard towers for the Grimoire, and our farms to unlock the garden. But even those three were only up to level 2. Now, for all these trophies, we need to get not just these 3 buildings, but all 20 buildings to level 10. And if you're wondering, that would cost us 1,100 sugar lumps. And because we only get 1 sugar lump per day, that means that these trophies would take 2 to 3 years of daily grinding. Now, if you think that I'm going to do that legit, you're out of your fucking mind. So instead, I'm going to be jumping into a time machine, also known as the date and time menu in the settings, and fast forwarding 3 years into the future to a magical reality where I have over 1,000 sugar lumps. Now, is this cheating? Yes. Yes, it is, but it was the only way. It was the one multiversal timeline where this video actually comes out. So really, I'm doing it for you guys. Don't get mad at me, get mad at whoever decided to add these dumb fuck trophies. Either way, now we had over 1,000 glorious sugar lumps that we could spend to our heart's content. One by one, upgrading all our buildings to level 10, which earned us a whopping 20 trophies.
Well, that was easy.
It was time to shift our focus to Cookie Clicker's minigames, as over half of the remaining trophies revolve entirely around them. The first one we were going for was the Banks minigame, the stock market, where we could get the trophy initial public offering for making our first stock market profit. This shouldn't be too hard, right? Buy low, sell high. Well, just like McConaughey said in The Wolf of Wall Street, nobody knows if a stock is going up, down, sideways, or in fucking circles. Least of all Cookie Clicker players.
It's not fucking real, right? Right.
This holds true for Cookie Clicker, but when I saw that the chocolate stock was down 45%, I knew that there was only one way that thing was gonna go. That is not financial advice, and that direction the stock was gonna go was up. So I decided to go all in and buy as much chocolate as I could, which in turn netted me a trophy.
Bang, bang. There we go, full warehouses own at least 1,000 of a stock market good. Now, hopefully this thing goes up and I can sell it for more. That'd be ideal.
And up it went. In the next 3 ticks, chocolate stock increased by 3, 6, and 8%, which was just enough to make a profit.
Hold up, hold up. Yeah! Initial public offering. Make your first stock market profit, baby. I'm a stock genius. Let's go.
It seemed that luck was on our side, as right after this, we finally managed to click our 777th golden cookie, earning us the trophy Leprechaun. But the trophies don't stop here. As for our next 2 trophies, Rookie Numbers and No Nobility in Poverty, I need to buy and own 100 and 500 of every stock. And despite the UI for the stock market being a complete shit show on the PS5, I was still able to navigate it and purchase purchase every single stock.
Oh, there it is. Rookie numbers. Own at least 100 of every stock market good. Gotta pump those numbers up. Man, those are rookie numbers in this bracket, man. And bang, bang, bang. Trophy? Yes, no nobility in poverty. Own at least 500 of every stock market good.
The final trophy related to the stock market was debt evasion, where we need to take out a loan and ascend before we incur a CPS penalty. See, by sacrificing curses to the stock market, we unlock 3 different loans. By taking out a loan, we get a temporary buff to our CPS for a select amount of time, but when that timer runs out, we get a penalty. Thankfully, I clicked the loan that gives me a 50% CPS boost for 2 hours. Which gave me plenty of time to not only use the buff to my advantage, but also ascend without a worry and get ourselves the trophy.
Yes, we got it. Debt evasion. Take out a loan and ascend before incurring the CPS penalty. Really got him butted. Now you might be asking, is all of this legal? Fuck no.
Next, we had to embark on a grind that I had been holding off on. One I've actually been dreading, because the next trophy we were going for was Keeper of the Conservatory, where we have to unlock every single garden seed. The garden is the farm's minigame, where we can plant, grow, and harvest various seeds that we unlock. Now, there are only 34 seeds in the game, which at first glance may not seem too bad, but don't be fooled, because this singular grind, this singular trophy took me over 130 hours. Yep, that long. Also, just a reminder, this is a game about clicking fucking cookies. Now, to truly understand Cookie Clicker's Garden and why it's such a grind, you would probably need a PhD in botany. However, I'm going to try my best to break it down as simply as possible. In a nutshell, to unlock new plants in the garden, we need to create mutations. These mutations occur when specific plants are placed next to each other. Then once these plants mature, there is a chance that each tick, they'll mutate into a new plant in a nearby empty tile. If that was a little complicated for you, don't stress, but fair warning, what I'm about to show you might fuck your brains from the inside out. Ready? This right here is the mutation chart that we have to follow to unlock every single plant in the game, all stemming from the one plant that we are given at the start, Baker's Wheat. Up to this stage, I had managed to unlock 2 new plants. I did this by breeding 2 Baker's Wheat into a thumbcorn and harvesting a metal weed, which has a chance to grow in empty tiles. With only 3 plants total, we had a long way to go, but thankfully, because we had level 10 farms, our garden is actually at its max size, which means that we have more plots for potential mutations, which should make unlocking new plants way easier. Our first agenda was unlocking the various fungi that we can mutate after harvesting metalweed, and whilst doing this, we were able to fill every tile in our maxed out garden, netting us the trophy in the Garden of Eden, baby. After growing and harvesting the molds, we began unlocking their seeds. From here, we studied the mutation chart religiously, to the point that I was having nightmares about it. But at least by doing so, I was able to make steady and gradual progress to our garden. Most plants were pretty straightforward. However, there were some that were a giant pain in the ass. One of those was the bakeberry. All this mutation requires is 2 Baker's Wheat, but the problem is that it has a mutation rate of 0.01%. And even with a maxed out garden, this still took me forever. Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize we fucking got it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I wasn't even looking, but we got it. We got the bakeberry. That took forever. And it takes 2 hours to mature. Oh, you're taking the piss. Bro, I'm gonna be in bed in 2 hours. What the fuck? Yeah, little side note, the garden doesn't grow when you close the game, so I could have gone to bed and got it in the morning, but no, I stayed up until 3 AM thinking I would lose it. So yeah, don't be an idiot like me. The next plant that required some work was the golden clover, which similarly has a low mutation rate of 0.07%, but we could increase this to approximately 3.68% by using a specific setup using ordinary clovers. And before long, voila, golden clover. From here, we continued planting, growing, and mutating plants for 8 days straight, until we only had one plant remaining. The hardest plant to obtain, the one that turns this entire minigame into a monumental piece of shit, the juicy queen beet. Now, not only does this plant share the joint lowest mutation rate of 0.01%, but it also has the least amount of tiles that it can spawn in. That's because to get the juicy queen beet to mutate, you need it to be surrounded by 8 regular queen beets, meaning that in a fully maxed out garden, there are only 4 possible tiles where it can mutate. And if that wasn't bad enough, regular queen beets also take 67 ticks to grow. So even if we use fertilizer, the soil with the shortest tick speed, it still takes 3 hours for them to mature. And this is why I spent over 50 hours growing and waiting for the juicy queen beet to mutate, which it never did. Now, as enthralling as those 50 hours were, I eventually decided, yeah, I'm not doing that shit again. So I decided to do something that I probably should have done from the very start: save scum. This can be done by using sugar lumps, as on top of leveling up buildings, they can also be used inside the minigames. In the garden, we can use them to manually skip forward to the next tick, and unlike the grimoire, garden tick outcomes aren't predetermined, which means that I could just sit here and reload the save over and over again until I get a tick where the juicy queen beet mutates. And after 16 minutes of resets, this happened. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my, oh, yes sir! Finally, we have done it. We've got the juicy queen beet. Oh, let's go. That's huge for the program. I then placed Elder Wart around my juicy queen beets, as not only will they speed up its growth, but they also live forever, meaning that they can protect it from any weeds that might try to overtake it. With it secure, I simply had to leave my game running for the better part of 2.5 days until my juicy queen beet was ready to harvest. Finally got the juicy queen beet. It is mature, so when we harvest this, we will get the trophy for unlocking all the seeds. Here we go. There it is, Keeper of the Conservatory. Unlock every garden seed, and as you can see up here, we have unlocked the ability to sacrifice the garden, which will give us 10 sugar lumps, which is great. And when we do this, we get Seedless Tenay. Convert a complete seed log into sugar lumps by sacrificing our garden. There we go. That was like the biggest grind we've done, but it's done. Thank God. During all the garden shenanigans, we had the Grandma Apocalypse active for like 90% of the time. And because the grandmas were in their final pissed off womp womp state, it meant that new sugar lumps had a 14.39% chance to turn into meaty sugar lumps. And to get the trophy sweetmeats, all we needed to do was harvest one, except plot twist, we didn't. See, while I was offline, a sugar lump auto harvested, and as it turns out, that sugar lump was meaty, which unlocked the trophy without us having to do anything. Sadly, there was no trophy pop, but we did get this random screenshot as proof. W's in the chat, I guess. With that trophy added to the tally, it meant that we only had 6 more before we get our hands on that majestic platinum trophy. But one of those was the hardest trophy in the game, even harder than the garden, that being and a little extra, which requires us to bake 1 Trevigintillion cookies in a single ascension. And even though we were officially in the end game, we were still a ways off before that trophy was within reach. To close that gap, we needed to increase our CPS drastically. And the best way to do that is to ascend, ascend, ascend. The higher we can get our prestige level, the higher CPS bonus we receive. And the closer we get to baking the ever elusive Trevigintillion cookies. This meant that it was time to take our golden cookie combos to another level, and we can do that by pulling off something known as a Vitov dual cast. This is where we cast a single Force the Hand of Fate and then sell off enough wizard towers to drop our max mana. Doing so also decreases how much mana Vitovs cost, enabling us to cast the second one. This means that we can now stack more golden cookie effects and achieve greater combos. Holy shit. Come on, baby, give me the cookies. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, this is elite. This is elite. 710 Novmedicillion. With this many cookies, I was finally able to go for the trophy round of applause, which we can get by owning over 1,000 curses. Hold up. And yes, sir. A round of applause. Have 1,000 curses. Let's go, man. That's huge. From here, we kept on ascending and waiting for the right combo, which, funny enough, was actually the hardest part. We'd reached a stage where regular frenzy plus click frenzy combos weren't cutting it anymore. What we needed were building specials. These pick a random building and boost your CPS by 10% for every one of those buildings you own. And because we owned like 700 of pretty much every building, these were giving us a 7,000% increase to our CPS, which is crazy. The only problem being, like click frenzies, these building specials are quite rare, and getting them to stack up behind one another in the grimoire takes a lot of time and a lot of re-rolling. However, with enough patience and persistence, we managed to get one locked in. But before we use it, we could add a few new things to further boost our combo, those being loans and sugar frenzies. By triggering all three loans from the stock market, we could stack a 20%, 50%, and 100% CPS boost for 40 seconds. After that time, we would be hit with a CPS penalty, but because golden cookie combos only last 30 seconds or so, this isn't a problem. Sugar frenzies, on the other hand, are a buff that lasts for an hour, which triples your CPS, and all it costs is one single sugar lump. So on our next golden cookie combo, we managed to get a natural frenzy, a natural building special, a click frenzy from the grimoire, a second building special from the grimoire, 3 loans, a sugar frenzy, and of course God's Mock to pull off my most insane combo to date. Oh my god, look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, sell. Virginitilian. Oh, that is insane. That is insane-o style. Holy shit. Just to break down how insane that is, in that single 10-second combo, we baked 6,000 years worth of cookies and gained over 600 quadrillion prestige levels. Despite this, I still knew that deep down, we hadn't reached our cookie clicking potential. So I decided to spend hours scouring YouTube, studying every endgame combo that I could, praying that I would find the one missing ingredient that would take me to the promised land. And what I discovered, it kinda ruined my day, as all of these top tier combos had one thing in common, something that I didn't have anymore. The garden. Yep, the fucking garden, which I sacrificed to get a stupid trophy. Why the garden is so important is really because of one specific plant, golden clovers. When mature, these make golden cookies spawn 3% more often, and when paired with nurse tulips, which buff their effects, these spawn rates can be increased to over 200%, which would let us stack more golden cookies and get more combos. Now, was I gonna spend another 50 hours of my life regrinding the garden just to get these plants back? Fuck no. No chance in hell. But thankfully, there was a workaround. See, about a week prior to this, Cookie Clicker released an update, improving a ton of quality of life features, like increasing FPS, cursor speed, and most importantly, the ability to name your own bakery. Why is that important, you may ask? Well, by renaming your bakery to the secret code, say Open Sesame, you unlock the debug menu, which straight up gives you cheats. One of the cheats that you can activate is turbocharged soil, which makes the garden tick every second, letting you grow your plants 1,000 times faster. And after some moral deliberation, I decided to use this cheat, and this cheat only. Now, before you scold me in the comments, let me make my case. There is no way to dance around it. This debug menu is cheating. In fact, by using it, you can increase your cookie production by 1,000 times, pretty much get infinite sugar lumps, and most alarmingly, go down to the achievement list and click to unlock any achievement in the game, which on PS5 actually allows you to instantly unlock the entire trophy list and get the platinum trophy in less than 15 minutes. I am not doing that, but if you're someone who wants to do that, be my guest, you do you. I just hope that when people think of Cookie Clicker's platinum trophy, that they don't look at it as a piece of piss shovelware plat, because the truth is, I'm over 300 hours into this game, and it has been the longest and most testing platinum trophy grind I have ever done. In saying that, I stand on business when I say that there is not a world where I was going to spend another second watching brown mold grow. So after speeding up the garden, unlocking the golden clover and nurse tulip, I promptly disabled the debug menu, returned my game to normal, and prepared myself to chase down some end game combos. Something else that I discovered in my research is that golden clovers were only half the equation, as we could get even more golden cookies by quad casting. I've explained dual casting the Vitov. Well, if we pull off a regular dual cast, then repurchase wizard towers, we can refill our mana bar entirely by spending a sugar lump, allowing us to pull off 2 more Vitovs. And by doing this, I was able to get a click frenzy and not 1 but 2 building specials in our grimoire, which meant that on our next combo, we were able to get a frenzy, a sugar frenzy, a click frenzy, 3 loans, and 3 building specials.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I was there. I'm there. Quick. Oh, click. Oh my god, it's kind of working. Oh my god, now we're getting cookies. Holy dooly.
With that amount of cookies, I was able to buy the final few upgrades in the game, which put our total upgrades bought at 696 out of 716. And for the trophy Oft We Marwitz Well, we need to buy 700 upgrades. Because we couldn't buy any more, we had to unlock the final ones via fortune upgrades. We can get these by clicking on the bright green text that appears occasionally in the newsfeed. We had already unlocked most of them, but there was still a handful more up for grabs. And after patiently waiting for over half an hour, we had unlocked the final 4.
Oh, yes. Ah, yes. Bang. And... Oft We Marwitz Well. Purchase 700 upgrades, but don't let that stop you. I had to switch on the golden switch because apparently it's bugged, but that is what was needed for it to pop. And there we go, 700 upgrades.
We also decided to clean up another trophy that has avoided us to this point, all natural cane sugar, where we need to harvest a golden sugar lump. This is the rarest variety of the sugar lump, with a measly 0.14% chance of occurring once per day. Now, in the interest of time, instead of waiting 200 days IRL to pray that I get one naturally, I'm once again gonna use the good old time machine to jump 1 day forward at a time. By doing this, I can check whether or not the day's sugar lump is gonna be golden. And after checking 2 months worth of lumps, this happened.
Oh no!
That is a caramelized sugar lump, which have about a 0.8% chance of occurring, which I think might be wrong because after checking 6 months worth of lumps, we didn't just get 1, nor 2, fuck off, but 3 in the span of about 5 checks.
What is this? That is back to back, man. Back to back. And that's 3 caramelized ones in like 4 days. That is such bullshit.
But luck was on our side, as about 7 days of checks later, on what would have been the 13th of January 2026, it finally happened.
Oh yes! Oh my god, yes! Oh yes, baby, come on. Holy fuck. Yes! Oh, we got it, baby. We have got it. We have got the golden sugar lump. And it only took us like 2 hours, but that was the longest 2 hours of my life. We're going to click it. And all natural cane sugar. There we go. Harvest a golden sugar lump. Oh my god. I was getting scared, man. We had like 8 caramelized. But fuck, man. Finally, we got it. With that out of the way, it was officially time to go for it, to attempt the ultimate golden cookie combo. I took all the necessary steps, unlocked every season upgrade that I could, reset the grimoire for hours until I had the right golden cookies, and last but not least, filled out the garden with golden clovers. Something that I did do differently this time round is use 2 different dragon auras that not only make golden cookies last longer, but also give some the chance to turn into dragon harvests, which are essentially a more powerful frenzy that we can stack on top of all other bonuses. But pulling off this combo wasn't gonna be easy. Oh my god, yes, save. We're gonna do it. We might actually do it here. There's a chance we do it. We need to lock the fuck in. That's what we need to do. Bang. Garden. Freeze. Mute. Rimraw. Bang. Sell. 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bang. Buy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bang. 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 1, 2, 3. Sell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bang. Bang. Yes. Yes. God's amok. Where the fuck? That one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No calcium. Oh my god, we did it! We did it! Let's go! Let's go! Come on! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, and a little extra. I was fucking locked in, man. I was locked in. I did that on my first try as well. Oh, let's go, and a little extra. We have baked a Trevagintillion cookies. Oh my god. Oh my god, I was locked in. Let's go. Oh. Oh my god. I'm like shaking. I'm actually shaking right now. I can't believe it. We just did that. Let's go. Just like that, we had climbed over the biggest hurdle in the game, but there was still 2 more trophies that we needed to get before we had the Plat. The first, a Wizard as You, we could get by casting 999 spells. Just by general gameplay and Vitov recasting, I had already done over 500, and getting the rest were pretty easy, as each time you ascend, your mana bar refills. So by spamming cheap spells, ascending and rinsing and repeating that process, I had 999 in no time. This should be it. 2 more spells and we're done. 1, 2. A Wizard is You. There we go. Cast 999 spells. I'm a what?
You are a wizard!
That brings us to the final trophy, Never Click, where we have to make 1 million cookies by only having clicked 15 times. To do this, we reincarnated into the challenge mode, Born Again, where all ascension perks and upgrades are stripped from you, essentially restarting the game from scratch. And because I wanted to challenge myself, I decided to go for True Never Click, where we don't click the giant cookie at all. That meant that the only way to start earning cookies was through lucky golden cookies. And after getting 2 of these, we had just enough to buy our first cursor, baking a humbling 0.1 cookies per second, but that was all that we needed to get the ball rolling. Slowly, we built up our army of cursors, and after getting our first frenzy, we were able to start buying grandmas. This snowballed over to farms and mines, and before long, I was baking thousands on thousands of cookies. And all I needed was 1 final frenzy to send us over 1 million. Or be a frenzy. Yes, come on. We're so getting it. We are getting it now. 357. 516. Oh, sugar gas. 792. Oh my god, we're getting close. It's gonna pop any second now. 997. Come on. Where's it at? No. True Never Click? But where's real Never Click? As you can see, we've baked over 1.5 million. I'm pretty sure if I click this cookie, we're gonna get the Plat. There it is. Never Click. Make 1 million cookies by only having clicked 15 times. We actually did it without a single click. But that means, finally, after damn near 300 plus hours, platinum cookie. Oh my god, man. Holy shit, we did it. That was, oh man, that was torture. That was torture. I do not recommend this platinum at all. It was hell. But man, we have finally done it. Let's go. Clocking in at over 325 hours, this platinum trophy was nothing short of a grind. And for those who are wondering, I also ended up getting 609 out of the 618 in-game milestones, which is absurd. But as proud as I am to pop this plat, I am sure glad it's over. If you've stuck around this far, you're an absolute legend. I hope you enjoyed it, and once again, thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the video. Check it out using my links below to get your hands on a heap of bonus rewards. And as always, guys, take care.